You ever see the news and wonder how a country's entire economy can just seem to fall off a cliff overnight? One day things seem fine, the next, it's total chaos. Well, what if the answer isn't just bad luck? What if it's a hidden system, a network of finance that's built on speed, secrecy, and, well, instability? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that world and see what's really going on.
Right, this is the big question. It really does keep people up at night. How does this happen? Is it just bad policy, a string of unfortunate events, or is there something bigger, something structural at play? As we're about to see, the answer has a lot to do with a hidden world of unregulated capital, a world that just doesn't care about the consequences.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at how this whole world of unregulated capital came to be. Then, we're going to meet the three key players in this high-stakes game. After that, we'll uncover the hidden alliance that ties them all together and see who really gets hurt in the process. And we'll finish up with a question that might just change how you think about money itself.
Okay, let's set the stage. We're not talking about some small adjustment to the financial system here. This is a massive shift, a whole new way money moves around the globe. And it has some pretty profound implications for every single one of us.
You see, this isn't a story about a few bad apples. It's about the entire orchard. We're looking at a systemic change, a fundamental rewiring of global finance. Money now moves at the speed of light, right? A massive, uncontrolled river of capital. And its goal? It's not about building factories anymore or funding long-term projects that create jobs. Nope. It's all about the relentless hunt for a quick buck, a speculative profit. It's become a giant casino. And the house usually wins.
To really get how this all works, we need to meet the three main players. You can almost think of them as three sides of the same coin, three distinct but deeply connected forces that have teamed up to create a perfect storm of instability. First up, we've got what's called hot money. This stuff has zero loyalty. It's like a financial mercenary, zipping across borders, hunting for the highest possible short-term return. It's like a swarm. It descends on an economy, sucks up what it can, and then it's gone in a flash, leaving chaos behind. Its whole identity is speed, getting in and out before anyone even realizes what just hit them. But what's really scary about hot money is just how destructive it is. It's a parasite. It doesn't build anything. It floods into a country, inflates a massive bubble in stocks or real estate, and creates this illusion of prosperity. But then the second there's a whiff of trouble, it vanishes. It flees, leaving the local currency shredded and the economy in ruins. It's a boom and bust cycle on steroids, and it's almost always the developing world that gets left with the bill. All right, our second player is a whole different beast. This is the river of dirty money that flows from the dark underbelly of the global economy. And we are not talking about small-time stuff here. We're talking about billions, maybe even trillions of dollars coming from all sorts of criminal enterprises. And all of that cash has one simple mission: to get clean, to find a way into the legitimate financial system so it can be used. And just look at where this dirty money comes from. It's the profits from political corruption, the cash from arms and drug trafficking, the gains of organized crime. This is money that is soaked in human suffering, and it desperately needs to be hidden, to be washed of its origins. And that brings us to our third and final player, the enablers of the system, hedge funds. Now, these are not your typical friendly neighborhood investment firms. These guys are the wild cards of the financial world. They're private, they operate in the less regulated corners of the market, and they make huge, risky bets to chase massive profits. They are the perfect tool for anyone who wants to play fast and loose with the rules. The most important thing to understand about hedge funds is their freedom. They basically operate in a regulatory gray zone. It's like the Wild West of finance. This lets them use incredibly complex, high-risk strategies, betting against entire currencies, using borrowed money to amplify their bets. You name it. They're like the getaway drivers of the financial world, the perfect vehicle for making a quick score and disappearing without a trace. Okay, so we've met our three players. We've got hot money, dirty money, and hedge funds. Now let's see how they actually work together, how they form this hidden alliance that's powerful enough to bring entire countries to their knees. And this right here is where it all clicks into place. This is the key. Hot money, dirty money, and hedge funds aren't three separate issues. They're all part of the same machine. They are functionally linked, intertwined, and driven by the same toxic logic. They need each other to work. So here's how the machine actually runs. It's a simple, brutal, three-step process. First, you have the need. Dirty money desperately needs to be laundered to hide its criminal roots.
Second, you have the fuel. Hot money provides the incredible speed and agility to move that dirty cash across borders in the blink of an eye, blurring the trail. And finally, you have the vehicle. Hedge funds provide the perfect legal cover, the institutional framework that makes this whole illicit operation look like just another high-risk, high-return investment.
Now, this financial machine, it's incredibly efficient at what it does. It generates obscene profits for the people on the inside. But that efficiency comes at a massive cost, a cost that isn't paid by the people who are cashing in. So who does pay the price for this high-stakes game? Well, you're looking at a system that's basically rigged from the start. It's designed to distribute risk in the most unequal way you can imagine. The big financial centers, in the developed world, they get to reap all the high-yield profits. But the risk? Oh, the risk gets exported. It gets dumped on the fragile economies of the developing world. They're the ones left to absorb the losses, to suffer from crushing debt and endless crises. It's the classic case of privatizing the profits and socializing the losses. It's a global shell game where the most vulnerable always lose. And for the nations that get caught in this trap, the consequences are absolutely catastrophic. They lose control of their own economic destiny. Their policies are no longer decided by their own people, but by the whims of global finance. Their national debt spirals. They're forced into harsh austerity, forced to sell off public assets, their water, their electricity, their future, to the highest bidder. It's a new kind of colonialism, a financial one, but it's just as damaging as the old one. So, after all this, we're left with a really unsettling question. In this new world of unregulated capital, what has money become? What is its purpose now? Has it turned into something else entirely? Just let that sink in for a second. Money transforms from a tool of exchange into a tool of control, from a means of development into a silent weapon. When capital isn't tied to any real, productive purpose, when it's just pure speculation, it becomes a tool of power. It becomes a force that can bend entire societies to its will, all without ever firing a single shot. And let's be perfectly clear, this is not some kind of accident. It's not a glitch in the system. This is the system. It's the logical outcome of an economic philosophy that now dominates our world, one that puts short-term profit over long-term stability, speed over justice, and pure speculation over real human development. We built this machine. So that leaves us with the big challenge, doesn't it? If this is the machine we've built, one that funnels wealth to a tiny few and exports chaos to the many, how on earth do we start to redesign it? How do we build a global financial system that actually serves humanity, not just a small elite? There are no easy answers here, but it's a question we absolutely have to start asking if we want any chance at creating a more balanced and frankly more human world.